the 50-yard bunker shot. Long recognized as the hardest shot of the game, it can really be a challenge no matter what method you use. Now the way you're going to play this shot, this is really important to catch the ball first and then the sand. So we're going to alter our stance in our swing just a little bit to help us do that. Now what you're going to do, backing the ball up in the stance and leaning the handle a little bit forward, that's going to set a situation where it's going to be a little easier to catch the ball first in itself. But here's the trick, is you're going to go ahead and get a little feeling like the hands are rolling over just a little bit more. It feels like a little baby hook shot is what it does. Now does the ball really hook on a shot like this? Not at this distance. You know, it might be a yard or two, but hardly anything you could see. But the hand motion helps you to move that bottom of the swing more forward. Anything opening or holding the face open moves the bottom more to the right, which helps you to hit the ground too early. So what we want to do, the body's still going to move, of course. We have a little weight shift and a little turn, ball back in the stance, and letting the hands roll over on the way through. It helps you to catch the ball first and then the turf. So in your practice, as you're learning this shot, you want to go ahead and make your stance right next to it like this, and go ahead and make some swings and see if you can catch that ground after, just like that. Now obviously in your real game you won't be able to do that, but in your practice you can. And on the real shot you're going to go ahead and get the same sensation of letting the club roll over. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Well, that was a good one. This shot is going to come out a little bit on the low side, and you do have to play for that it's going to have some forward momentum. It's going to skip forward. It's really great if the pin's in the back of the green. Extra good if you have this shot with trouble long, because that's the farthest the ball is going to go, is if you catch it clean like that. If you catch it a little bit heavy, it's going to be short. On an explosion shot where you're blasting it, if you catch it a little bit thin, it can go long and find yourself into the bad trouble. So this is a great one when you have a long distance to cover, but there's big trouble behind the pin. So ball back in the stance, handle forward, and that little body movement with that little feeling of hook. Now, as you're playing this shot, it is going to tend to come out on the low side like we just mentioned. So it's not a good one if you have a lip in the way where you have to carry over something. It can be used if you have a little bit of sand behind it though, because that little steeper angle of approach as you come into it this way can help you to get the ball clean. Now again, it is going to come out low. So what happens if you have a little sand behind it and a lip in your way? Well, learning when to take your lumps in this game is a big part of becoming a good player. So sometimes you have to say, you know what, I'd love to play at that pin, but I can't right now. I've got to go ahead and play it out safe. So you want to practice this shot. It's a good one to have in your arsenal, the 50-yard shot. Hopefully that'll help.